Well, this has taken up all of the political oxygen here in the United States ever since Joe Biden's poor debate performance almost 2 weeks ago now. This is all anybody has spoken about in the United States. It's taken up a lot of time at the briefings. That's mainly because the White House has been shifting its reasons for Joe Biden's poor debate performance. They tried to overcome that by giving him various unscripted events, such as an interview last Friday with ABC, and then multiple campaign events as well that they hope will show his vitality and that he does have the mental capacity needed to be president. However, that all then got blown up very late in the game just yesterday when the New York Times released a report that a Parkinson's expert had visited the White House 8 times in 8 months. Now, if you read that article, it went on to say that the White House had some kind of explanation for that. They said it was because a lot of military personnel get their healthcare through the White House medical unit, and that doctor had been on site because of that, but they refused to answer whether that doctor had been there to see Joe Biden during any of those visits, and ultimately that really poured fuel on the fire and led to a very fiery press briefing just on Monday. So it's been really blowing up in the White House's face and also in the Biden campaign's face as well. And it got so bad that late last night, the White House released a letter from Joe Biden's doctor saying that that man, the Dr. Kennard, had been to the White House, but that none of those visits effectively were for Joe Biden, that Joe Biden has had 3 neurological exams in the course of his regular physicals, the last one being in February, and that he hasn't had any since. So it has been a few days of mixed messaging from the White House and trying to get ahead of this narrative, but ultimately they've been failing to do that. I think they tried to rectify that on Monday night, and now all eyes are on whether Joe Biden can perform on the world stage or whether he'll have some kind of episode similar to what we saw at the debate.
Right, because the White House obviously focusing on this opening of this 75th anniversary summit. And what can we expect from that today?
Well, there's a lot of disruption here in D.C. We're expecting over 30 world leaders to arrive to D.C. to have 2 days worth of meetings. And it's quite a pivotal summit as well, not only for Ukraine and the deliverables that are going to be put forward for Ukraine, but also on a geopolitical level as well. This is going to be the first time that Keir Starmer, the new Prime Minister of the UK, gets to meet Joe Biden. They've already spoken on the phone. Joe Biden called him to congratulate him after his victory just a few days ago. But this is the first time that they are going to meet each other in person. So there's going to be a bilateral summit on the sidelines of this summit for the NATO leaders coming here. And then, of course, it's also an opportunity for the rest of the leaders to catch up with each other and get each other back up to speed. And also a reason for Joe Biden to meet with Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, as well. But like I said, the age thing for Joe Biden is going to be the dominating factor, and it's basically what everybody's going to be keeping an eye on here in the United States, is not just what is said at this summit, but how it's said as well. And that especially is going to be true on Thursday when Joe Biden does his first solo press conference since November 2022. That is when everybody will be watching to see what he says, and he will be taking questions from the press as well. I know that a lot of the press are looking forward to that.